and gentlemen, crypto is about to do a crazy move. Penguin. So let me show you Penguin right here. So this is Penguin. I'm gonna start off with Penguin real quick. We got Penguin, time and date. It's always very important. So Penguin would have been an easy move of a good buying opportunity. It was showing you too easy. It gave us a 3 candle box. Again, the way it works, my 3 candle box strategy. First candle gives you the resistance. Second one gives you support. You box it up. You then pay attention to, normally it's towards the last week, but if you pay attention to where crypto is at, where S&P is at, and how it may lead crypto, and knowing how S&P was telling you, hey, we're gonna start rallying from here, that was a bottom, then you would have correlated that with to crypto, and then you would have been like, okay, that was a bottom for Ethereum and Bitcoin, then this is gonna be the rally stage from here. Okay, so then that means with to certain meme coins, altcoins, this is the bottom, and actually check it in. So you would have then you would again box it up, and I'm gonna take this 8-hour candle off. So this purple line is your monthly floor. I call them floors because they either can be resistance or support depending how the market, where the market is coming down from or up from. So we have a monthly floor here. We would then box it up and then go to the weekly. We have a major floor right here that's gonna act like a resistance because it's another 3 candle box right here. Okay, so I know that this area right here would be then really hard to pass. So then what I would do is I would make a box in that section because that section is like its own, actually it's a monthly right here. So I know that this area will then be hard to pass. I would then change the color to yellow, push it back. So then I know the next area to pay attention to would be this area right here. From this are marked up right here, because so we take this off. I already have this marked off. So this is one section here. This will be your next section. From this weekly to this weekly will be your next section because it'll be hard to pass. So then I divide it. I move that one back. So now I have one section here. This will be its own section because we have a monthly and a weekly. So I know the market's gonna have a hard time breaking out of the section. Next section is gonna be right here because we have 2 weekly right here. Again, I support or resistance. So then I will section this area up. My next section will be this weekly. We have another weekly right here. So then I would separate that area and mark it off its own section. That way when the market's inside of here, I know how it's gonna react because based on the weekly floors that we have. I call them floors. I'm getting sick of calling them resistance or support. It's a floor. Depending how the market's coming out, it's gonna react towards that floor. Coming on down, it's gonna react towards that floor. So it's just a floor. See it as a floor. People call it resistance or support. It's a fucking floor. So just call it a floor. So we have weekly wise this section here. Then your next section will be right here, and then finally you will have your next section right here. And again, this 3 candle box right here was your buying opportunity, because if you know that this month gave you the floor, right, then you will have to pay, and you're in a 3 candle box. So as long as we stay inside of this 3 candle box, it's gonna tell you that this box is gonna complete and it's gonna skyrocket. So you would then pay attention. All right, I'm in the 3 candle box. I gotta pay attention to this monthly. Notice how in this weekly it breaks it, but then closes back inside, and then ends up completing. This is your buying opportunity right then and there. The fact that it's a 3 candle box, it's holding that 3 candle box, it's going up. Then you would have then considered where Bitcoin was at, where Ethereum was at, where S&P 500 at. S&P 500 goes up, crypto Bitcoin goes up. Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, and so on and so on. You know, it's a chain reaction. So you're like, oh shit, this 3 candle box is gonna complete. Why? Because it's holding its weekly, and therefore still completing intact the 3 candle box. It's 3 monthly candle box. And as you would have done, and I bet you my indicator was even telling you, hey, this is your buying zone at some point. Watch. Daily, right here. Even right here, how the market in this daily, mark it off with the orange. This daily, from right here, notice how it's just consolidating in between this price. And here was your monthly. So the fact that on September 7th, it goes Buy that shit. Buy heavy. Buy heavy. Would have gone then to 12-hour candle. Nothing from the indicator still. Hold up. Hold up, people. 8-hour candle. Let me take this shit off so you guys don't get confused. 8-hour candle, 4-hour candle. You see my indicators already telling me, hey, start buying right here, buddy. And this is where the market went up. It was telling you right here, hey, buy, buddy. Here's your first target. Here's your second target. And here's your third. All of them hitting. So, and then that 3 candle box completed them. Boom. So that's why I like using the 3 candle box strategy, especially for a monthly. That was beautiful. That was just so fucking perfect for Penguin. Fucking mad that I didn't fucking pay attention to it. Mad, mad, mad. Easy money right there. All right. So now let's go to what we came for. S&P 500. I just noticed and I was like, oh, Penguin was an easy setup, yo. Penguin was an easy setup. Let's go to the S&P 500. I was telling you guys yesterday about this move. If you watched my videos yesterday, this area right here, this we were. I told you guys, it was 10 o'clock when I made my video. I said, the S&P 500 by 11:45, 12:30 needs to be up here in this range. That way it can have started to rally or whatnot. Especially because we were all-time high. It was creating that B pattern, and then plus timing. It's all about timing. If you know that data coming out at 5:30 and it's important heavy data, all 3 of them, or no matter how many there are coming at the same time. So it's not gonna be complicated. Where you're gonna be the first date at 5:30 was good, but then the one at 6:30 was bad, and then the one at 7 was good. Didn't have none of that shit. Even though they were good or bad, they were all still at the same time. So you would have seen the hit at the same time. The fact that then I didn't told you guys it was happen. As we get over here, you start 5 or 6. The fact that at 6, my bad. Here's your 5 o'clock. So even yeah, it came at 5:30. So the fact that at 5:30, at 5, it went down, but still ended up closing at this area here, that would have been very bullish to me. Why? Because that move would have been the move. That move would have been the boom. The market would have fucking came out 5:30. You as a trader investor wouldn't be able to done nothing. Maybe as a trader you would have, depending what broker you're using to go in on these trades for the S&P 500. But as an investor, you would have then have to wait for the market to open at 6:30. And if it was bad news, the market would have started dropping. It would have all closed here at 6 o'clock. That's when a 4 candle closes. And then from 6 o'clock to, from 6 to 10, you would then be sticking with that pressure, that selling pressure right there, and keep on going with the pressure throughout the day. But the fact that at 5:30 just went up right here, and then you 1 hour candle, you have your 50 Fibonacci right here. Anyways, all this was just telling you, yeah, bye buddy, bye buddy. I'm mad that I didn't go on an option trade for the S&P 500 days before, especially how everything was playing out. It would have been your most easiest fucking money. Tomorrow we have inflation data, and I believe it's gonna come out at 7. So it's gonna be easy one. I like this one because you wait then to your 7:45 to 8:30 to correct yourself. So what we could see tomorrow is, again, it's all about time. Since we're in a new area right here, so here the area we're gonna pay attention to is right here. This the 4 candle right here. The red line means a 4 candle. That's why when I went to my 4 candle, I mark it red. Orange, I mark it for daily. So since I know there's a hard daily floor here and a mid-hard 4 candle floor right here, I know it's gonna, and then just the way it's looking is so we're gonna most likely close here at 10 o'clock. Again, same shit. If by 11:45, 12:30, we're not up here trying to break, we're probably not gonna rally. And if we are, we're gonna, depending how we're looking. I don't really see the market rallying up through the nighttime. So I see it maybe creating a new all-time high-ish, maybe around 1 or 2, and then come back down and bullshit in this region. So, but depending how we close at 2, whether it be some crazy shit or some mild shit, we could just come back down and bullshit in this region and start dropping from 3 to 4, 5, 6, all that bullshit. And it could possibly be here by 6, but I doubt it. How happy the market is. So if we do drop, we're gonna close somewhere mid here, and depending on the data, we're gonna end up breaking through this and being somewhere down here by 7 in the morning or 8, or depending how we if we maintain support from 7 to 8 in this area right here, then the market is gonna start going back up again to this region right here. That's if we have bad data ish or whatnot. If not, you're gonna see the market. If we stay here from 7:45 to 8:30, if we drop and we maintain the region and with this lower region right here, so you're 6,562, we're gonna start dropping and close somewhere down here in the market. If not, again, we're gonna create support. I think if we do drop, we're gonna create support here 7:45 to 8:30 and start going back up and closing the day somewhere up here. If we have good news, let's say we do drop halfway, we're gonna create support down here, be early here, midday, 11-ish, and then close at 2 or whatnot if the market is still happy and good. I'll go more into details maybe if I make another video later on, an update at your 11:45 to 30, maybe at 1 in the morning, just so you guys can see how this is playing out. But since we have good data today and yesterday, that's why I believe the market, even if we do have some sort of bad news tomorrow, because it is inflation data, I believe your 7:45, 8:30 is going to save it. If not, it's going to tell you if the market's going to keep on dropping for the bad news or if it's going to sustain, recover, and start going back up again. Again, it's going to be your 7:45 to 8:30 tomorrow. On Bitcoin's waiting for tomorrow's data too. My bad for all that shit. So again, I'm going to point out three candle box right here. First one, give you your support. Second one, give you the resistance. You box it up. You pay attention to the last candle. It's an 8-hour candle. Depending what time it is of the market it closed, what data came out at that time, you would have then known how it's going to react to the S&P, how it's going to react to it, or how the S&P was going to move it. And you would have gone for a sell right there in the area, or you would have gone for just an upturn right here. You would have gone for a buy, especially the indicator telling you, hey, buddy, this is your entry area. These are your targets or whatnot. So again, it makes sense because S&P is waiting for tomorrow's data. You see, tomorrow's data is gonna send it breaking through this. And again, if we end up closing the week how we have, Bitcoin, crypto actually is gonna signal you that it's gonna rally from Saturday to Sunday. It's gonna rally, and it's gonna most likely, if we get good news tomorrow, we're gonna go to the 116, 867, and then from Friday to Sunday, that's gonna be the goal from the breaking. That's gonna be the goal from breaking. Because even if you go to your daily, this is your daily, your weekly. We just passed a strong weekly floor. Now we're trying to break through this 50 Fibonacci daily right here. And it lines up because it's the daily Fibonacci is the strongest floor that so far that we need to break to get into this area right here. As long as we're between that price right there, we're gonna get then stuck in between this. That's what the market is telling you. It's waiting for the S&P's data, and so far this data is telling Bitcoin, hey, get ready, pretty much. 3 candle box. I forgot about that shit. There's a 3 candle box strategy for Bitcoin. So see, that's why I love these 3 candle box strategies. If you would have known where Bitcoin was at here, where the S&P was at right here, what data was coming out, all this, and I mentioned in my videos about this. I mentioned that even XRP is in a 3 candle box strategy in the monthly, I believe so. Let me see, XRP. Yeah, see, 3 candle box. It's waiting for that news. So either we can close this week. I mean, this damn big move's coming, yo. Crypto's screaming it. The XRP screaming it. Ethereum screaming it. That's all-time high. It's right there. It's waiting for tomorrow's data. We're gonna close the week at a new all-time high, most likely, or it's gonna get corrected. And then from Friday to Saturday, it's gonna be the whole. Is Ethereum gonna close the week, breaking through this weekend, closing an all-time high, or is it gonna correct itself? That's how we the week. Watch Bitcoin. Yeah, just fucking too much fucking to cover. But I'm gonna start making different clips because there's too many stocks. I wanna go over United Healthcare. I wanna go over Palantir. I wanna go over Nvidia. I wanna go over gold. I wanna go over silver. But yeah, man, look. Bitcoin's telling you, hey, we're about to skyrocket, but depending on the data tomorrow, even Tom Lee stock. Ethereum goes up, you gotta see Tom Lee stock most likely go to 61,039, or by the end of next week if everything goes along. And then it's gonna take a while for his stock. Anyways, I don't want to fuck with that stock. United Healthcare. I wish I would have stock. I wish I would have broken this down with you guys. Thought I was keeping on track my own ways. But that's all, you guys. I'm trying to make this shit fucking longer. I wish I could go more into Ethereum and Bitcoin, but I know I'm already 18 minutes into it. Just on the S&P. and Bitcoin, but man, you guys, let me see what you guys have. Are those stocks or something? The other stocks, bro. They're the S&P 500 and Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP. I graph my I how would I say it? Yeah, I mark my graph in my with my own way. I like instead of just marking your support and resistance with lines and this and that. I like to separate them with color. Every color it represents a time frame. Purple represents a monthly, so that letting me know, hey, that area there you're about to pass, it's a monthly support, it's a monthly resistance. I like to then dissect the market into different dissections. That way I know what data is coming out and so on. I know how hard that section gonna be passed, hard to pass, and so on. And it helps me way more to understand how the market is gonna move, especially with the S&P. That's how I started using that or these techniques with S&P 500, and I mastered this shit. And then with Bitcoin and Ethereum also, for people that just, even people that know how to analyze these graphs, the way I do it is so unique and weird that people I know they're gonna aren't gonna get it or whatnot. I eventually plan on making a videos of breaking these lines and boxes to you guys so you can understand this and what these circle 50s on them. If you notice, there's a blue 50, there's a green 50. All that means is there's a 50 weekly Fibonacci in the zone right here. So that's very bullish, very important. The fact that Bitcoin is coming to this section was screaming to me, hey, get ready because we're about to fucking fly again. So having all these little markers that I have helps me understand how and where the market is gonna move depending with the data and all that. I know that doesn't really make sense to some of you because it's again it's an algorithm. You're just seeing this random ass fucking guy talking about this gibberish. But I hope this makes some of you guys copying. Burning now slower. Solar panel roofing owners coming. Chase solar panel roofing. Anyways, yeah. I hope it makes sense to you guys. But I'll try.